Hi Taurus, welcome to your June 2018 forecast. My name is Donatella and I will be doing your forecast this month. Now, as I start, let me tell you guys something. Your guys' energy just feels so light and airy. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but you guys feel so good to be around. Your energy just feels really, really good. I don't know how to explain it. Even your candle just stays on. You guys got this fire and passion inside of you. Like, you guys are ready to rock and roll, and I feel it. I feel it. Okay, so this month your reading will be divided into two portions. As always, I've written something in the beginning about astrology in general, and the next portion is your tarot reading. If you find this reading resonating with you, please email me at donatellaempressofswords@gmail.com. If you'd like to reach me, or if you'd like to request a personal private reading, I have several different kinds. Just please email me. I'll send you back whatever different services that I can offer you. As far as, pertaining to your situation, whatever's going on with you, if you need more clarification, that is something that I can provide for you as well. As we left the season of Taurus, we entered the season of Gemini. And I know that I'm doing this on the 12th. And the reason for it is because we have to wait until the energy is just right and perfect for you. And as I say this, you're going to start noticing the huge duality in so much people. And this is done on purpose because you need to know that by October, it will be harvesting time. It will be the time for whatever seeds that you are sowing, they will manifest. Now, Taurus, you out of all the signs should know something very important that I'm about to tell you. Taurus is in Uranus for 7 years. Look that up when you have a chance. Taurus and Uranus for, some people say Uranus, but I say Uranus. Anyways, what that is saying is that Uranus is the planet that talks about changes, like great, like crazy changes that you never expected out of your life. And this is going to be affecting you for the next 7 years, so just hold on for the ride. As this is happening, Saturn, the planet of rules and restriction, is going backwards from April 17th all the way to September 6th. So if you felt like you were moving ahead, you were 2 steps ahead, and then all of a sudden you're like 4 steps back. The reason for this is whatever had manifested back in during the solar eclipse last August, September time. You remember when there was a lot of crazy changes happening right afterwards? A lot of, crazy energies, people just acting crazy, erratic, shadow side coming out, like craziness. Well, in April and May, that's when people were really seeing some drastic stuff, some huge changes, like some huge changes in their life. So from April to September, something was supposed to happen like this. But the reason for this happening is because we are needing to go backwards so that way we can reconstruct our life in the way that we want it to be, to make sure that it's truly something we desire. And as we enter the season of Gemini, which is ruled by the planet of Mercury, the planet of communication, and the sign Gemini is the sign of duality. Well, we can find duality in ourselves and others, and it causes us to want to increase our communication. We can feel the need to be more social, talkative, and even whimsical, but remember, you can also feel very indecisive or even nosy. This is a time when you will feel the need to strengthen your communication with active listening. This is where you practice your mirroring skills. And after a person is done talking, it's really important to play back what they have said, especially if it's an important matter. I have learned that there's a 3 easy step process to problem solving, and this is after you have actively listened and played back what the person has said. After a person is done speaking, it's best to let them finish. When the person is done complaining, repeat back what you have heard, and empathize. So the first one is empathize. If you see a frustration, take yourself to a point where you can fully immerse yourself in another person's shoes with no judgment, saying things like, I understand that you went through a lot of pain. Wow, you do so much. Basically agreeing to the frustration and not what they're talking about. At this point, it's not about being right or wrong. Feelings are just sensors, like light sensors on the car saying that you need a oil change. You're just confirming that the oil change is needing to be done. You can't get mad at the car for needing an oil change, can you? Okay, well, acknowledge nothing is personal. Even your body needs to be taken care of. It needs to be nurtured. It also needs to go to the doctor at times. You can't get mad when you have to nurture things. And that goes for the people that you love and the pets that you care for and the things that you have as well. Reassuring is the second step. Reassure the person that you care for that you are in this together, actually verbally, even telling them that we are in this together. If in actuality this is something that you wish from them, because mirroring plays a big part. Reassuring a person means that you have the understanding of how important another's issues are. When you realize the more alliance you have, the more others work the same for you. You will start realizing you can affect your own happiness, the cause and effect that you are willing to see compromises for. Are you willing to see compromises for the best? Are you being compassionate enough to reassure someone? And the final step is to resolve. By showing others that you are sensitive and strong enough to make magic happen, the final step automatically comes into play with much less effort than before. Processing the first two steps, empathizing and reassuring, allows the third final step to take in its own form naturally. This all comes from your own mind, your own heart, your spirit, your own joy, and positively mapping yourself into a state that you want to be in. When there's a lack of positive communication, meaning that there's no listening, there's no compromising, no security, there's judgment, blame, negativity, you find yourself wanting and needing loopholes, which as a result and make you end up feeling even weaker. As a human being, when your needs are not met, even just by a natural way of communication, it can make a person feel like they need to scavenge just to satisfy their own hunger. In that sense, we become animals when we go into starvation. Starvation can be a form of lack of air, food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, meaning fluctuations and not feeling balanced to the point that it could even cause death. And satisfying your hunger from loopholes can mean talking to others about internal issues, parties that are outside of the relationship, Taurus. And that can cause more conflict with family and friends. Going to others for solution rather than the person that you have issues with, a lot of that can mean sometimes the answer is just compromise. Turning your feelings off with drugs and alcohol, using forms of numbing your feelings, will block the intuitive nudges your body has been trying to show you. There is a reason why your stomach feels funny when you don't feel good about something. These are sensors, and the more we block ourselves, it becomes more like a callus to a broken heart. Numbing yourself with shopping or gambling. As we find distractions, we cause ourselves to get into more debt, adding more than just relationship issues, but now adding debt into the mix. Finding different sexual partners or even new family members and friends or even animals to replace old wounds. Distracting yourself in ways that you don't have to feel pain. Social distractions, religious distractions, overeating, immersing oneself into work can also serve as a distraction. You will understand that distractions have their own time and place, and this is just a temporary time of suspension. The question is, how long do you want to sit in it? Because also in June, it's a time of the most entertaining time of 2018. Most weddings are in the month of June. A lot of celebrations and gatherings are in the month, starting during this time. Gemini, in the deck of tarot, is actually the Lovers and the Soulmate card. It's accepting the duality of both souls, both different but divinely paired. And like the salt and the pepper shaker, both perfectly set on the dinner table, always, however, they completely are whichever they are different. They're completely different, which is why they are so awesomely paired. And the Gemini season teaches us to accept the good and the bad and asks you to see the Pandora box in front of you. Realize, what are you willing to sacrifice for? But unless you know the truth, and knowing the truth means allowing others to be vulnerable to know that there can always be a solution if that is a position that you want for yourself. When you sacrifice for someone, is it a true mirror that will sacrifice for you? You must understand to have someone like that, you must also open up in a very vulnerable way, an accepted, nurtured way through the healing of communication with thorough compassion, empathy, and resolution, Taurus. Now understand that if you're in a position of savior, you will mirror a partner just that way, however, in a different direction. And remember how I said one is salt and the other one is pepper. Accepting beauty and difference, understanding what your intentions are. If you are in need, you will find others more that way. The reason for you meeting several different types of people is for that you can understand the lessons in life, to heal, to learn unconditional love, and to learn what cycles are causing different changes. Now, once you are more secure in your energy, which I feel like you guys are starting to really, really feel like you're in your own power, you start seeing that the people around you are starting to feel that way too. The more you stabilize, others stabilize more too as well. And I would like to start your reading now. So this is for the month of June. And this will actually be starting from right now, probably most likely for the next 30 days. Your reading is starting a little bit late this month. It's at June 12th. It's actually late, and it's done on purpose because I have to make sure that I feel your energy and give you the proper information exactly at the right time when you're needing it. So I have to follow the waves of the energy, and then that's when I process the readings. The first card that I have right now is something has happened where you have lost the ability to listen to your intuitive nudges. Like you've completely shut it off. You're not listening to what it is that your intuition is telling you. And the reason for that is because I have a big time feeling like there is a lot of duality crossing you right now. You think about one thing and then you're thinking, oh, no, this happened, so I don't need to feel this way. I feel very different. So this is going to hinder you from allowing the access that you need. So there's something that's happening. Either someone else is doing this to you or you're feeling this way, but there's something that is happening that is blocking off the intuitive nudges. And what's crossing this is you really wanting to take a step into communicating with something that's different than what you're used to. You want to start communication lines different. So whether if it's for a business or if it's a new relationship, but there's like this thing where you feel like you want to send the email out. You really want to send the email out, or you really want to send the text, or you really want to make that call. But it's like an electronic exchange, I feel like. Like you really, really want to communicate with someone, but you're not understanding what your intuition is telling you. Like you really want to say these things. You want to manifest something. But what's crossing you is that your intuition is saying yes, no. It's feeling very indecisive. And the main reason why this is happening is because on your frontal mind, on your focal mind, your card is actually the King of Pentacles, but he's upside down right now. And there must have been a time when you were very, very fruitful. Meaning like financially stable, like abundant, everything was coming in, everything was going out, like there was everything, like everything around you, you had a lot of abundance everywhere, everything. And now you are starting to really, really feel that lack, and that lack is really on your mind. You could be okay right now, but you're kind of like looking back at the person that you could be. Is the sense that I have. It's like this feeling like, dude, I can manifest so much in my life. I am capable of this, I'm capable of that, and it's just, for the moment, it just feels like there's no fruit right now. In the distant past, there was 2 decisions that you wanted to go through. You had to stop at making one that fit kind of okay. So whether it has to do with communication or a job or a relationship that you're deciding on, there's 2 of Swords, it's reversed, and that tells me that there was a decision that was made out of force from one of these 2 decisions, and it's something that it's like, okay, you could either do this or this, but they were both kind of shitty in their own way. Excuse my French, but that's kind of what I feel. Like the options that you were given before were not the best options anyway, so how could you act in that kind of scenario? Because right after that, you felt this huge loss of position of power. That's the Emperor reversed. So either you have been dealing with a person that's an Aries sign, who you have conflicts with, that makes you feel like you're losing your position of power because of this person. Or it can mean that you were the Emperor yourself. You had a lot of authority at your job or your home at one point, and now you're really starting to feel like you don't have that authority, and it really has to do sometimes with money. That makes it like much more frustrating because it's kind of slowing down to how it was before. Or maybe now you feel like you're catching up where it had been slowing down before. But in the near future, I feel like there's going to be a part of you that it's 2 of Wands reversed, and it's saying, I want to go out there. I want to see what there is. I want to even maybe I'll even take my partner with me, Maybe we could move somewhere. Maybe we could do something different. Maybe there's all these ideas in your head about the different passionate things that you could do. But in the near future, you're realizing like the way that things are right now, it's not going to lead to that. So some kind of change must happen. And so around 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, mid-time from this time, so maybe like the beginning of next month, there's this feeling of there was a feeling of betrayal before, okay? But now you're understanding, like, you're coming out of it. Whether you had an alliance with someone, whether it was your partner or your best friend, some kind of alliance was not there. The kind of support that you needed when it came to certain specific people in your life, you didn't get that. So it's a huge possibility that there could have been betrayal during this time, whether it was from you or the other person, whether it's gossiping or having a third-party affair, whatever it is. But this kind of feeling of lack and inability and unable to listen to your intuition, unable to make decisions, unable to feel like you, has really made you think, like, what is it? What happened? And you thinking about that, and you getting your headspace out of a negative headspace about thinking about the different ways. I mean, betrayal could be a different thing. It could be somebody gossiping. It could be somebody talking about something. It could be you gossiping. I mean, this card can, it's in your reading, so it could be either you or the other person, but someone feeling the feeling of getting out of feeling betrayed. So either there was a misunderstanding that you both didn't understand, but it's in reverse, meaning at some time you felt like this, but now it's coming around like this, because there's some kind of understanding that is going to be happening during this time. And when this understanding happens, and I'm thinking probably around the end of, around the full moon time, you're going to be patiently waiting. You're going to be patiently waiting. You're going to be, waiting on when your fruit are coming in. And that's the card that I get right afterwards. And you're really thinking about how to heal, what it does to make you heal. But you got to really think about where that's going to lead to, because I have 5 of Swords, okay? And what's telling me is that if you keep thinking negative thoughts, or if this other person keeps thinking negative thoughts, and they just keep waiting and keep waiting and keep waiting, one of these people or both people are waiting for the other person to be better in their situation or to be better in the relationship. That's what the waiting process is for. It's not to do something mischievous. But I have 5 of Swords, and 5 of Swords means feeling like getting away with something, having to do with getting the upper hand. But what doesn't make sense is that the final card that I have is the Hierophant. So is there some kind of trickery being done to make a commitment to something else? Is someone else doing a trickery to have a commitment with something? Because the Hierophant can mean a contract with a business, a job, a marriage, an engagement, something to do with church, some kind of alliance forming together. But if it's based off of unstable foundation, it's going to be a huge dilemma later on. And this is something that you have to really, really consider. So just let me see what this card is. I do need to absolutely get a clarifier, because I want to know, why is there like this feeling of mischievousness after a time of waiting? All right. You going through this process, Taurus, had made you feel like whatever passion you had before had died. Like something happened where you're trying to resurrect yourself. So if something had happened prior in the past, it was because you were trying to resurrect yourself coming back to life, because whatever you had been through, whatever hours and time you had invested, had literally killed you, had literally taken your soul away from you. So you did honestly try to do the best that you could, that you were capable of, but it caused some kind of emotional death to you. So either someone had died recently around you, or there's this feeling of sense of my old self is gone and dead and I'm restarting, and it's because of this lack of love that you felt. It could also be like a whole household full of love that you're lacking from. Maybe it's your friends and your family and your kids, or but it's just, it's the problem is that when it's 9 of Cups and it's reversed, that's like the fulfillment of relationships with more than just your lover. It's like the surrounding relationships, and you want to get out of that feeling. You want to go into a feeling where you are committed on every angle, where the kids are good, the family is good, everybody loves you from every single angle, and you've been in a process of waiting. But let me see what this last card is. The Hierophant. Making contracts, making agreements. What is this last card? Tell me what this card is. It's the card of success. So you see yourself succeeding from, there's a passion inside of you, and I kind of feel like you don't really talk about it much. It's kind of like on the down low, as should I say. But this is something that you want to contract in, and after you contract this in, you're going to be feeling very, very successful. And once you get that acceptance in there, you're going to be charging out like a knight with your words, and you're going to want to say things, and it's going to be like, I want this to be happening, I want that to be happening, I want this change to be made, I want that change to be made, I want to do this and I want to do that. During this time, if you feel like you're fluctuating back and forth from what you want and what you want to do, just remember, how does it affect you with or without the people that are around you? Because whether they are not around you, it still affects you still. So pre-plan, because something tells me by the end of this month, there's going to be some kind of agreement that you want to make. I'm not sure if it has to do with your financial status, because this is just a general reading, Taurus. And for many of you, it's actually going to be because a lot of you are really thinking about the changes that you need to make. Either you were looking for a job, or the job that you had was not as satisfying as you had hoped it to be, and it was just something that you were going to temporarily do for the time being. Or maybe you were just waiting for your hours to change, or your position to change, or your boss to change, or things like that to change. There's going to be a period at the end of this month, because I pulled out a clarifier card. There is some kind of negotiation, a commitment that you want to make that makes things change for the better. So get ready for this conversation sometime around mid-July. From beginning of July to mid-July, there's going to be a conversation that happens, and I have a feeling it's you. It's you trying to bring up, okay, we don't like this, we need to change this, we need to do this, we need to do that. There's something inside of you that really wants to succeed something. You're really pushing through to make something happen. So whatever it is, make sure that it's the best for everyone. But especially make sure that it's the best for yourself, because you're going to have to live with yourself the longest, more than all of these people. So make sure that you can live with your final decision, and that there's no regrets in this. And whatever is meant to be will be. But at the end of the day, we always all have our own free will. And if you feel like you are going in a positive direction for yourself, and it's not hindering anybody, and it's really, you're really looking out for the future, look at it from that perspective and stay focused on that perspective. Don't let anybody hinder you. Just go towards it and make sure that it's something that is not numbing your intuition. Because right now, Taurus, I really want to tell you, you are really numbing your intuition. You're really restricting yourself from feeling the way that you want to feel. You're suppressing something that's going on inside of you. You're not speaking up. You're not talking. You're not doing that shift that you want to make. You've been wanting to make shifts for a very long time. You've been wanting to make changes for a very long time. but you were thinking about it a lot. You were contemplating about it a lot because you had to focus more on work. Your mind was so much set on work that you kind of forgot about the other things that, you know, were also important to you too. And there's a lot of group activities that you want. There's a lot of family gatherings that you need to bring together, but some of them are being delayed because of the daily annoyances in life, you know? So I still want to walk you guys through this path. I still want to walk you guys through this journey. Your guys' readings are going to be put at different times, and it's specifically designed that way so that when the right proper time for the right exact energy that you need to get, that right exact message that I need to give out, is specifically given at that exact time when it's supposed to be given, because there is a message that I'm getting and that I have to share with you, and I have to wait for that specific time. I'm not going to be one of those readers that are doing it at random times that doesn't hear the intuitive nudges that I need to tell you. So I will pop up at the moment that is perfectly right for you, when you guys actually really need it the most. And I will see you at the end of this month. There's going to be an end of month culmination video. I look forward to seeing you guys all, and then following months later with the following regular monthly readings. This month, at the end of the month, I'm going to be talking about the differences of, I'm going to be talking about what's happening in astrology, but I'm also going to be talking about what is happening, what is the difference between soulmates, and what is the difference between twin flames. So maybe you guys know maybe you guys already know a lot of information on that, but I'm going to go into a little bit more depth at the end of this month. So if you guys like this reading, please like, share, subscribe. I love you all. And hopefully I'll see you guys at the end of this month and the next following readings. Take care and God bless.